UFC 296, what a strange card. Prelims were really good. The main card was, I would say, half good and half lackluster. It's like getting a really amazing main course meal and then they bring out dessert and the dessert was completely trash that it kind of ruined the main course meal you just had. That's the only way I can really think of to describe it. Either way, let's get into it. All right, so let's start from the prelims. The only fight I didn't catch in the prelims was Casey O'Neill versus Ariane Lipski. Cody Garbrandt actually looked really good in this fight. Hands were solid. Irene Aldana versus Carol Rosa. This was definitely the fight of the night. These girls were going back and forth like crazy. I wonder if there's anything on it with the leg kicks. Let's check real quick. See, she just kicks the inside. Boom. She even gets her to, she kept on getting her to wobble with it too. Boom, losing balance. They both just look like a bloody mess. It's like a horror movie. Just look how that blood. That's pretty cool though. Good sports about it. Great sportsmanship, taking photos together after the fight. Anyways, the last fight of the prelims was Alonzo Manifield versus Dustin Jacoby. That was a pretty good fight too. These guys were, I would say, about neck and neck, but I do believe that Manifield had the bigger moments. Oof, this is a rough one right here. Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell. That KO actually had me pretty worried. Let's see if there's... They were just feeling each other out too. This is just like the first round. They're only like 2 minutes in. And then bam, he connects. That looks so harsh right there. Here he goes. Right over the top. Bang. Dropped him. And then that was it. Do they have the convulsion? Oh, this is where it gets like really worrying right here when you've seen him kind of convulsing in the arena, in the octagon right there. I think that's the moment that had everybody worried. It's like you rarely see convulsions that bad. Whew. That was scary. I mean, props to Mitchell for taking the fight on short notice. These fighters taking these crazy fights on short notice, it's like, we appreciate you because you're putting your body and your health on the line for our entertainment. Damn, is it worrying. Much like this next fight right here, Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. I would say it was not a boring fight, but it's also, I feel like when I watch Tony Ferguson fight now, it's not satisfying. It's not satisfying not because he's not doing good. It's just not satisfying because there's certain people who they reach a point where you're like, stop, like just it's okay. You don't have to do this forever. Like we still love you, Tony. You don't have to be a fighter forever. So yeah, I mean he lost by decision, but I would prefer it if Tony kind of just hung up the gloves. I mean it was cool to see he had David Goggins there with him. But yeah, seeing David Goggins there was pretty cool. My cousin was like, that guy looks like a samurai or something like that. I think right here, basically all the prelims from, like I said, I didn't catch Casey O'Neill versus Ariane Lipski, so I'll skip that one. But basically from Cody Garbrandt all the way up to Josh Emmett, these were like the fights of the night. Once it hit Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett, all of these fights right here, the rest of the card was pretty lame. It was not amusing. I'll explain in the next fight right here, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Stephen Thompson. I feel like Shavkat was afraid to exchange with Wonder Boy. Yeah, so he fought Jeff Neal and he was throwing hands with Jeff Neal. I don't understand why he was afraid to throw hands with Wonder Boy because he can scrap. He knows how to throw his hands. So I was kind of hoping that we'd get a fight similar to the Jeff Neal because we've seen him throw hands and he's got good striking. So Wonder Boy was like the perfect person for him to show that, hey, I'm a striker too. You guys see me with Jeff Neal. Now you see me with Wonder Boy. I can do it all. So that sucks. And for Wonder Boy, oh God, it just sucks that he's got good wrestling defense, but once he's on the ground, he's just trash, man. Like this is what I'm saying. The strikers, we like to see you strike, but you are in a sport where people are going to take you down because they don't want to get struck by you. So you really need to put a lot of emphasis on building up your ground game so you can learn how to escape a lot more technically, take it back up to the feet and stand and bang. Because these grapplers, these wrestlers, these jiu-jitsu, judo, sambo, whatever guys, that's all they're going to do. because they know that that's a lot of your weak spots, is that you can't, when you're on the ground, you can't get up. But if your game is so good that when they take you down, you can recover and get back up and strike, it really defeats a lot of their motivation to keep taking you down. Anyways, this is the highlight of the fight right here, was just seeing Jack Black, because it's just, everyone knows he always walks out to Wonder Boy. So Jack Black being there for Wonder Boy to walk out to Wonder Boy was probably like the highlight of the Wonder Boy versus Shavkat fight. All right, co-main event: Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. Honestly, guys, I feel like Brandon Royval was the real winner of this fight. He was doing a lot of the work. Alexander Pantoja was just laying on top of him. People will say, okay, but he had more control time, Alexander Pantoja. They really should fix a lot of, like, okay, here's how I feel about control time. You guys know I am a jiu-jitsu practitioner myself. I know the basics of wrestling. I don't really practice it a lot. I should work on my wrestling a lot more. I love striking. That's like my favorite martial art, is just striking. It's such a difficult thing to do. People think it's easy to just throw hands because, you know, you literally just throw your hands at someone. If you land something, you could get lucky. But then there's also the very precise, technical, sharp shooting strikers. Okay, Wonder Boy is one of them. But aside from that, my main issue with UFC judging with MMA is that they count, how do I word this? It's hard to take a victory seriously when you reward the fighter for just holding the person. It's like that, okay, you're holding them, but if in this particular fight, when Brandon Royval, he's on the ground, right? Pantoja's got him down, but Brandon Royval is still striking, doing damage to Pantoja. And you could see it wear on him throughout the fight. Pantoja was almost looked like he was done. He could tell he was slowing down. When Royval was throwing his hands at him, he didn't have answers for him. So that's why he kept on taking him down and just holding him there. So there should be some modification to the judging for MMA, that you can't just hold the person. Like if you get them down, you get the takedown points. And if you're controlling them, but also still actively doing something, not just laying on top of them and just holding them like they're some kind of body pillow, some kind of cuddle pillow. I think at that point, if you're just holding them, they should then cut the control time. They just should stop. Like, okay, you're not doing anything anymore. You're no longer controlling. You're kind of just holding on to them like you're a kid holding on to their parent. The main event of the evening, Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, was definitely the most disappointing fight of the night. I was rooting for Colby, but we did not get the Colby that we have seen in UFC previously. I don't know how the viewers here feel about the comments, the dead dad comments from Colby. I know a lot of people were mad about that. I'm a little mixed on it. I don't hate it and I don't love it. I don't really. Here's why. Let me justify. Okay. I'm going to read this article here for you. This is from a quote from Leon Edwards himself. My dad was a gang leader in my area, and so I was one of the few kids who had a bicycle and a skateboard. If you consider the cards he was dealt, my dad did the best he could. I know he did wrong, getting involved in crime, and it led to his demise. But he had the smarts to immigrate to the UK, and he soon brought his wife and kids to join him for a better life. So, okay, here's the thing. No matter who your father is, if your father did what he had to do to support you, you know, that's a good dad. But also, you can't blame other people for saying horrible shit about your father if he was doing horrible things to other people. So that's why I'm not mad about Colby saying it, and I don't dismiss Leon's feelings about being upset. They're both right. Leon can be upset about someone saying something about his father who supported for his family before he was murdered, and Colby can also say, hey, like, your father was a criminal, like, think about the people. He actually does say something about that, I think. Hold on, have a listen to what Colby had to say.
What about all the victims of the harm that Leon's father did to them? He was a sex trafficker, he was a drug lord, he killed people. The guy's a scumbag. Why would I feel bad for that? I have no sympathy for that guy. What about all the victims' families that live on right now, that have to live through all the things that he did to them, how he tormented those people? So no, I don't feel bad for him. The truth hurts, and that's why people hate me, because I'm not afraid to say the truth, and you know, the truth is what always stings the worst. It is what it is. Tomorrow night, he can do whatever he wants about it. We're going to have 25 minutes. If he wants to come do something, try and punch me in the face, try and knock me out, come try, bitch. I'll be waiting for you.
Well, they had 25 minutes to fight, but they barely did that. Anyways, so yeah, Colby's still right to have that opinion about his father, and Leon is right to feel upset about someone saying that. Yes, as you can see here, Aldana versus Rosa did get fight of the night on the UFC official fight card, whatever. If I may nominate a fight of the night of my own, I would say it's Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Look at this. Let's get a full replay of this. All right, let's slow this down here. So whose idea was it to have Dricus right here, Dricus du Plessis, right behind Sean Strickland? Look at this face. He's ready for anything. And then we got all the everyone else involved in the crime scene that night. So we got Burns's son and wife right here, Brenda Moreno, and I believe that's his wife. And then we got Craig Jones off to the side right over here, literally right to the left of Strickland right here. So Craig Jones, like there he is. All right, so Craig Jones had like the best seat of the house right here. He's literally right next to Strickland. Who knows what kind of conversation they had? I imagine having a mic right here in between Strickland and Craig Jones. How epic must have that conversation been? Anyways, so then we get right here, Sean Strickland standing up, turning around, then pulling the strap out on Dricus right here, aiming. And then we have the other Burns child right here. So we got two Burns offsprings right here. Alexander Volkanovski sitting right off to the left of Jones. And then right here, point blank, and then he fires one off. Bang! And then these people all laugh, and he flinches too. Dricus flinches. And then he puts up the guns. And it's all getting good fun right now. You know, Dricus is laughing it up right now. And Sean's like, whatever. Sean's being Sean. And he just keeps on doing, I don't know what this hand motion is here that Dricus is doing. And he's like, look at me. Yeah, look at me. I got one too. I got a strap. He says, oh my God, dude. Oh, this is where it gets good. Okay. And you can even see here, Sean Strickland is motioning to the Burns offspring and his wife like, excuse me, can you please make some room for me? And he's kind of motioning them away like, go ahead and just, step aside. And here Dricus, I think Dricus has no clue the gangster shit that's about to go down with Deshaun Strickland. Because now, okay, we went from right here. This is just Sean Strickland, right? We have Sean Strickland here. But when this happens right here, as soon as Sean motions to the Burns family to step aside, please, I have a couple words to say. I just want to talk to Dricus. He's like, I just want to talk. It's at that moment that he is no longer Sean Strickland and he becomes Deshaun Strickland. You can see here even this is right here, that meme of Brandon. It was at this moment Brandon knew it was about to go down. Look at Brandon's face, dude. Is there a way I can zoom into that? Look at his face right there, dude. It was at this moment Brandon knew it was about to go down. This guy's having fun right here. Look at this guy. He knows. Burns his kid right here. Bro, imagine being in this spot right here. God. And she gets up to, she obliges. She's like, come on, children, let's go. And it's so perfectly timed because they literally just get up and start moving. And you can see Dricus's face. Like he goes from smiling to like a kind of a look of like, is this for real? Is this real right now? Is this really happening? And then Sean, as soon as they're up, he loads up onto the chair, ready to launch at Dricus. And Dricus's face, it gets even more serious. As each millisecond goes by, Dricus's face changes from like, what have I done? It goes from like, haha, to what have I done? And then you see here, closes the guard, and Strickland just Supermans his way over there and then just unloads putazos like no other. He's just almost ground and pounding. And Brandon, you can see Brandon still has like a smile on his face, and even his wife, it looks like they're both having a good time. Like they're both laughing at the situation. This guy, I don't know who the hell this guy is right here, but Mr. Front Row Shades over here tries to kind of do something about it, but there honestly at this point there's nothing you can stop Deshaun from doing. Security comes in, they try to break it up. You see Even Burns right here is trying to nullify the situation. And then right you see Drake right here with just this look of defeat on him. And then they obviously Sean knows that he's done for the night. He's like, all right, boys, I guess I'm out. Walking out in Deshaun style. Anyways, so yeah, if I had to rank all these fights though from UFC 296, yeah, I'd have to give it to Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. And because that is the fight of the night, I know they're going to have an official rematch, correct? Let's see. Events. Oh, it loaded up right away. So UFC 297 goes down on January. I do want to make some improvements here to this here UFC 297 fight poster. So you know what we do here. We make memes, okay? Let's go ahead and make a meme. All right, so this one's kind of done for us already. We got the Kamaru hand and the Deshaun do-rag. There's our meme. We did it. Fight night memes. So I would go into more memes from the fight. However, I do have a long day ahead of me. So we're going to go ahead and end it here. Sorry if I didn't get to any of your guys' memes. I'm sure there was a lot of good ones for this fight, but that's all the time I have for today. Anyways, I will probably cover the one championship fight next weekend. So we'll see. Anyways, for the next one, use the hashtag FightNightMemes so I can check out your memes. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter/X. And I'll see you guys in the next one.